Hey guys, it's Andrew at Night, and today I'm going to run you through my top 10 applications for either the HTC One or the Galaxy S4. To be honest, this video also works for any other high-end Android phones that have recently been released, and it will also be great on any low-end phones. But I think the biggest audience is going to be the HTC One and the Galaxy S4, so that's what I've tagged this video. Now these are 10 that aren't sort of applications like Spotify or Facebook. They're ones that do things that aren't other services that you use online, so hopefully they're going to be ones that most people will know a few of, but you won't know all of them, so most people watching this video are going to find something new. The first one is called Avast, and this is Avast Mobile Security. This is I'm just going to put my password in off screen. This is the only antivirus app that I think is worth using, and that's for a couple of reasons. Firstly, I think it's the best antivirus app as a standalone application. You scan all your applications, it scans them when you install them. You can schedule updates, so it'll scan every Sunday, for example, which is really cool. But the other really big thing it has is this anti-theft option, which means you can sign on with a computer if your phone gets stolen, and you can then make it scream, you can lock it remotely, you can unlock it remotely, you can send a GPS tag to your laptop, and I've tested all these features and they work really, really well. So if you are looking for something there, if you lose your phone or you get it stolen, this is going to be something really useful to have. Next one is called ES File Explorer, and for a while I've been I've been suggesting people use Solid Explorer in my videos, and a few people suggested I try this, and I did, and I'm not going to look back, I'm afraid. Solid Explorer, this is really, really good. This lets you browse all the folders and all the files on your phone as per any other Explorer, but what's really good is the option to add cloud connections. So I've got my Dropbox here and my Drive account both here, and you can go into it and you can just view it as if they're on your phone, and you can copy back to your phone, you can export, things like that. So it does all the things Solid Explorer did, but I think the interface is slightly nicer, and just the fact you can add multiple cloud connections so easily is really nice. You've also got support for LAN connections, you can see there, also FTP, and you can Bluetooth files to each other. There's a couple of other little options which lets you manage your SD card and your contents. These I haven't used particularly much, but if you use a device like the S4 where you've got the external SD card as well as your internal SD card, then that's going to be something kind of useful. Next up, we've got SwiftKey. This is an app I have actually talked about before, and I still think this is the best keyboard for Android. Best way to... what the hell is that? Small piece of forest managed to get onto my desk. The best way to show this is just to open up Google now. And you can see, looks kind of cool. It looks fairly like the stock keyboard. There's a few different themes, but the cool thing with this is you've got swipe, see there, as well as just tapping to type, which is really nice. The prediction on this is the best I've seen. For example, if I start typing my address, it will know I'm typing my address and will fill the rest in for me. It reads stuff from your Twitter if you let it, from your Facebook and your Gmail. You let that do it in the settings, and then it'll know names, it'll know phone numbers, addresses, things like that. So it's pretty good at guessing what you're talking about. So that's SwiftKey. Next one is called Vault, and this lets you... I'm just going to put my password off screen. This lets you hide photos and videos. Now, I'm not going to get into why people want to be hiding photos or videos, but one of my most requested things I get in PMs and emails is how do I hide things from the gallery, for example. This will hide them from the gallery and put them in this Vault application. You can also save your Facebook messages in here if you don't want people reading those. You can also save, as you can see, SMS and call logs, and if you upgrade to the premium version, you can save all these things online. So that's a really cool application that lets you hide stuff. Next one is Nova Launcher, which I've talked about a lot. This I still maintain is the best launcher, just for everyday use. I've currently got it set up with some custom icon packs. You can see it looks pretty cool. It's really quick. People were saying on my other video that it didn't look quite as quick as stock. I'm now running a custom ROM and it seems even quicker, but also in the other video I didn't realise I'd had my power management turned on. It's really customizable and quick, and it's quite a light launcher. There are other ones out there that are a bit more customizable, like Lightning Launch or SS Launcher, which I think it's called, although saying that now, that does sound kind of German. I think this is the best launcher if you want a launcher that looks like Android but is very customizable. I've got it set up so I can scroll up, that'll launch my applications, scroll down, will launch my phone. So things like that are really easy to do. You can change all the icon packs, like I said, and just really make it your own. So that's a Nova Launcher. Next one is called Automate It, which is a new find. This is kind of like Tasker, except I've chosen this one because firstly it's free, and secondly it's slightly simpler to use, but it lets you set things up in much the same way. So you set a rule. For example, I've got quiet at night. Shall I just edit here? So you choose a trigger. So this one is a timing trigger. So when it gets to 11 o'clock, that sets an action into play, which is to turn it to silent. And then there's a rule at the end, which is just where you can name it, and you can choose whether a notification pops up when it comes into effect. But there's a whole host of these. I've got one so that when at night my notifications turn off, then it gets louder in the morning. If I plug my headset in, it automatically opens Spotify and changes the volume, and then also when I unplug it, it changes the volume back. If I go to my house at my dad's, it turns the Wi-Fi on and off depending on whether I'm there or not. If I open my gallery, it'll auto-rotate even if the system is set to not rotate at all. Same with YouTube. So it's a really nice application for automating your life on your phone, and it's one of those ones that you sort of think about and think it's useful, then you actually try it and realise it's even more useful than you think it will be, so I really can't recommend that highly enough. Next app is called One Power Manager. I've tried loads of these in the past, and ironically my battery is really low. Most of them don't seem to work very well. This one, it does something on a kernel level, which I don't really understand, but if your phone's rooted like this one is, then it's really good. Quick caveat, this is the only app I'm showing that you need to be rooted to use, but this one allows you to change all the different modes, so you can clock your CPU really high, clock it lower to save battery, you can change all your Wi-Fi preferences and things. I'm not going to dip into it now because it really is too much to talk about, but it's just a very good power saving application that if you're interested in having more battery life, I suggest you check out. Next one is called Dash Clock, and this isn't strictly an application, it's a widget, but it's so good I think it's worth a mention. This is the one I've got on my home screen here. And the thing I most missed about not having 4.2 on my HTC One was Dash Clock. That's the main reason I upgraded, well, that's the main reason I rooted and flashed a custom ROM. It lets you choose loads of extensions to show here. So I've got a weather one, battery one, and sunrise, sunset. You've also got a clock. Also got it on my lock screen. And I think it looks really cool. It's one of the most popular widgets at the moment, and I think rightly so. And if you haven't tried it out, it's definitely worth a try. It gives a whole new look to your home screen. Next up, we have got Magisto, which is basically a way you can make HTC's highlights on any phone, so on your S4, or if you root your HTC One like this and you lose the stock HTC functionality, this lets you make videos in much the same way. You choose video clips and stills and it mashes them all together. You can then choose filters, sounds. There's actually much more variety than the stock HTC one. The quality isn't quite as good as the HTC one as sort of the raw video, but it's pretty good and it's definitely worth a try if you want to try that sort of thing on your S4. And the last one is called Zedge, and I've tried out loads of wallpaper applications for 1080p screens, so for example on the S4 or the One, and this is definitely the best one in terms of quality. The variety is not quite there compared to some of the other apps, but just because it does look so good, I really have to recommend this as the best wallpaper chooser. We're just going to choose one. Which one looks cool? It's quite colourful. So you tap it, hit download, or where it says free, and eventually that will download. It is a bit slow, that's the only thing I don't like about it. Sometimes if you back out and then go back to the picture, and then you hit set, and that sets your wallpaper. And I'm not sure how well you can see because of this camera, but that's really, really nice quality. It's really crisp, much, much crisper than anything I've seen from Flicky wallpapers or those. And some of them are quite good, but they're a bit hit and miss. Zedge seems to have pretty consistent quality. You can also use it for live wallpapers, ringtones, notifications and games. I suggest you don't. I only use this for the wallpapers. The live wallpapers, to be honest, I'd rather just search them in the Play Store. The ringtones is actually kind of useful, but I don't use it much because novelty ringtones tend to annoy me. Notifications, again, there's enough notifications on Android normally, but if you are into that, you can get them from here. And the games, again, I'd leave alone and just use the games from the Play Store. But if you're looking for wallpapers, I really do think Zedge is the best. So that's 10 quick applications, guys, for your HTC One or Galaxy S4. I apologise about the quality. I'm currently in a transition stage from losing my old camera to trying to find a new one. I was using my Galaxy S3 before, then I had to sell that, so I'm back on the Xperia Arc, I think it is, which is alright, but it's not fantastic. But hopefully that's been a good video. You've been able to get some information from that, some new applications you might not have seen before. And if you've got any more questions, any more apps you want to see, message me or comment or PM me or tweet me or whatever. And please subscribe if you haven't seen me before, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Ta-ra!